Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in. Now, this message right here might be a two-in-one, but I kind of like to over-explain things so that everybody gets it. And to be honest with you, I talk a whole hour and people still have questions. So it's always so many other caveats and nuances to all of these topics. Now, a young lady asked yesterday, I did a video on how to date correctly. And even after that entire video, she still was wondering, well, how do you date before dating? Like how to, in the early stages of dating, how should you date? And then I got another question from a young lady. And when I was talking about, should you reveal that you're waiting until marriage? And so I just didn't want to dedicate a whole day's video to just one topic that may be two sentences. And so, but overall, this is what I need you to understand. This is what I need you to understand. And I'm trying to get y'all to understand this. Everybody's mind works so different though. And everybody experiences and everybody's speaking from their experience. And I think what's happening is because my videos are long, if you get a phone call, you doze off, you start thinking about something, you miss the part that was for you. So some of these videos you need to watch 2 and 3 times. One lady I saw last night, she's like, this is my 3rd time watching this video. That's how you're going to have to do it if you're really trying to learn. I just be honest with you, because some of y'all asked me questions that I answered in the video. So I'm like, what were you doing in the video? So this ain't really what I'm giving you. What you got to understand is this is life, or this ain't really to play with. Like when you get on, when you watch the news, people losing their lives from relationships. Like this ain't nothing to play with. I don't take this as a joke. Like I'm not here playing around. I'm not here talking about, oh, this just a business. Let me just give you some random, hairy booty topics. That's not what I do. I'm in the trenches. I'm in the trenches every day with people with their life on the line. A lot of these people that may be on YouTube may not talk to people one-on-one. Yesterday I had 4 or 5 coaching sessions, hour-long sessions. So in addition to talking to y'all for 2 hours yesterday, I was on the phone for 4 or 5 hours yesterday. I forgot. So this is what I do, okay? I take this very seriously. I see people life on the line. And I've seen people who, my clients, who have lost their life to a relationship that I feel like had some toxicity in it that they weren't addressing. So this is serious. Don't just look at this, oh, it's just a YouTube video, oh, it's just some old random topics. No, you got to be very mindful of what you're doing. Now understand this right here. Superman is not coming. Superman is not coming. Okay, your fairy tale that you thinking that this man is about to come to you ready made and you won't have to check him. Oh, the lady asked, she's like, I'm a Christian, so shouldn't a man, I'm looking for a Christian man, shouldn't a Christian man already be abstaining? Yes, he should be, but is he? No. 99% of Christian men, what you got to understand, Christian don't mean perfect. A lot of people Christian out of tradition. A lot of people Christian out of religion. It really ain't. And when you look at your own life, you ain't walking all the way right. You got some sin in your life. Just people sin differently. You might not be sinning in fornication, but you could be sinning in backbiting and gossiping and lying and stealing. You ain't perfect. So people sin differently. So understand that. Shouldn't a Christian man already be abstaining? Yeah, he should. But just how you sinning, his sin could be lust. His sin could be fornication. So understand that. You're not going to meet somebody that's ready-made and perfect. So what you have to do is you have to get the knowledge. You got to know how to move. Now, when it comes to dating, and especially it's a lot of y'all that's single. So I would say 70% of my audience is single. So you got to deal with healing from a soul tie, which that's why I made the course. I took the course from $50 to $5. so that it would be more accessible and I wouldn't have to hear any excuses. You got to deal with healing from soul ties, trying to break soul ties, minimize or diminish soul ties. You also may be confronted with the decision of getting back with your ex or not. So that's why you can watch the video, Should I Go Back to My Ex, or whatever it was titled, something like that. And then you also you are tasked with preparing for your future relationship. And I talked to a client and I told her, I said, I'm going to be talking about you in a video. I ain't going to say your name and all of that, but this is something that everybody needs to be getting ready for and learning from. And that is, in your single season, you truly have to prepare for your husband. And what I mean by that, and if this is a man listening to this, just invert the information. What I mean by that is you have to know that you know your standards, your morals, your values, and your deal breakers. So what this means is you have to have it etched upon your heart. Write it down. If you need to write it down, most people need to write stuff down. Me, it's in my head. I really don't write stuff down because I really don't want to leave a record of the stuff that God really gave me and what I'm trying to do. Because anything you write down now, it could be seen. So understand that it could be found. Now somebody one day you gone and your great granddaughter sitting there, must have 6 inches or better. Grandma, what is this that great grandma it's like a list of a man 6 inches or better? What is she talking about? So you got to understand that stuff can be read. So here's the thing: write down your list, read over your list, because if you don't, a man gonna come in and he's gonna be able to slip and dip through all the red flags. He's going to be able to exhibit red flags and you're not going to catch him. He's going to be able to do little stuff and say little stuff that you're not going to see. So a deal breaker is a married man. A man who is not divorced. I don't care if he's been separated 10 years. Where your divorce paper? That's a deal breaker. A deal breaker may be a man who's living with his parents. Not his parents living with him because of their old age, but he living with his parents. That may be a deal breaker for you. You may want a man who has the confidence and the wherewithal to step out on his own and pay his own rent. And regardless of whether he's 21, 25, 27, if that's your deal breaker, that's your deal breaker. You got to know that. You have to know that. Now, the question was raised, should women date multiple men when you're dating? Only if that's what you want to do. It's not a science to it that says, oh, you have to date multiple men just because men are dating multiple women. Men are dating multiple women because men have the capacity to date multiple women, meaning men know how to compartmentalize. Men know how to date Sue, Sally, and Jane and not call Jane Sue and not call Sue Sally. Men know how to date, evaluate the women, and not fall for any one of them until he knows that this one is his wife. So when he feels like Sally is his wife, now men know how to cut off Sue and Jane and not worry about Sue and Jane's feelings. But all the time I'm getting the questions from women: how do I break up with this guy? I don't want to hurt his feelings. How do I tell this guy that we're not meant to be? I don't want to hurt his feelings. Later asked last night on the chat, how do I end things on good terms? See, with most women, y'all worry about too much. Women are empath. You empathetic for people. You sympathetic to people. So because of that, it makes it harder for you to juggle men, to date a few men. And when I say date, I'm literally meaning talking on the phone and going out on a date. I'm not talking when I say date, I don't mean you're in an exclusive relationship where the man has said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" and let's be exclusive, and you said yes, but you're lying to him and you've told two other men the same thing. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say date, I mean y'all are talking on the phone, but this man has not asked you, none of the men have asked you to be his girlfriend and to be exclusive, and you haven't made that agreement with any of them. Y'all are talking on the phone about what's going on, and y'all are going on dates. Of course, right now you're not going on no dates, but y'all might be doing virtual dates, watching a movie together on Zoom or on FaceTime. And so understand that if you have the capacity, meaning if you were just raised a way to be nonchalant, carefree, just kind of a social butterfly, just a free spirit, that's typically what it's going to take for a woman to be able to date 2 or 3 men at once. Meaning talking to all 3 of them, getting to know them, and going on dates with all 3 of them. That's typically what it's going to take. Don't do that if that's not you. And I've coached so many women and talked to so many women. They're like, I just don't feel right. I just don't feel right. If I'm talking to somebody and we get to know each other, I just don't feel right talking to another person doing the same thing. Guess what? Don't do it. Don't do it. And see, this is the problem with a lot of y'all movements, feminist movement, whatever it's what y'all want to call, is a lot of women getting mad at the stuff men doing and saying, well, let me do it too. If what a man is doing angers you or upsets you, then why would you want to exhibit that behavior? Instead, you should be getting the knowledge so that you can recognize that behavior and you can call that behavior out. That's what you should be doing. Women going around here like it's a badge of honor to say, oh, I'm sleeping with any man I want to because that's the same thing men do. That is the stupidest thing you can ever do. That is the stupidest thing you can ever say. Why are you gonna go around and create soul ties, multiple soul ties, just because grown boys are doing that? See, when they say, what women took wrong when they say act like a man, think like a lady, okay, that wasn't made up. Steve Harvey didn't make that up. That already existed. It was another woman who wrote a book with that same title years before. She sued Steve, and I think she lost. But she sued because she already had that book out like 2007 or 1 or 2004. But it was self-published. She had no name. And she ain't make the slogan up. It probably come from somebody great-great-grandma who was out here loose booty and thought she hadn't tapped into feminism, thought she was doing something. Well, honey, you got to act like a man or think like a man and act like a lady. And don't realize that it's impossible to think like a man and act like a lady. That's what a cisgender is. Okay? That's what a transgender. That's what a man who is a man and then want to go dress like a lady and wear makeup. That's what that look like. Okay? Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner. That's what think like a man, act like a lady is. Okay? Caitlyn talking about she want to keep her man, he want to keep his man part, but yet sleep with women. So he want to sleep with women with his man part, but look like a woman and dress like a woman. Okay? That is the representation of act like, think like a man, act like a lady. Now you got that, what I'm trying to tell you? So here's the thing. Don't ever let it come out your mouth, well, I'm going to do it because men doing it. Men do it, why I can't do it? That's dumb. Because those grown boys, what you got to understand, when men is juggling women, sleeping around, ghosting, all of that. That's all grown boy activity. Why are you gonna be a higher thinking being, a fearfully and wonderfully created being of God, and then diminish your role and stoop to the level of a grown boy, saying, well, oh, I'm gonna date multiple men because men doing it. Now, if you want to date multiple men, meaning you want to go on multiple dates, there's nothing wrong with it. But the problem is if you doing it just because men doing it. But if you doing it because you saying, look, I need to weigh my options. I don't want to just put all my eggs in one basket and be giving all this time and energy to one man, and we ain't doing nothing but going out on a date to talk. We ain't doing nothing but talking on the phone. Why I'm finna give one man all this here energy when I could be evaluating 3 different potential suitors at once? If that's how your mind thinks, then that's what you can do. Here's the thing. As long as you're not on your back. See, the mistake is some women that's sleeping with more than one man. For one, you shouldn't be sleeping with a man before marriage, period. But that just make too much sense to be right. That just too right to be listened to. Y'all don't want to hear that. So you rather go out here and catch all kind of disease, everything under the sun, to be on your back and have your legs open before marriage. Before you done went to the doctor and y'all done took that test together and y'all sit with y'all paper that's say negative all the way down it. Before y'all sit together and compare them papers that say negative all the way down it, you rather be on your back contracting. You hear me? Whether you contracting the disease or you about to have contractions from the baby you done conceive. And so this what you got to think about. As long as you're not on your back, okay? As long as you're not on your back, you okay. Now this what you got to realize. Every single man, it's so many. I see the question of so much is like, well, shouldn't he be doing this? Or shouldn't he be doing this? Or isn't a real man gonna do this? Isn't a real man gonna do this? No. No, he's not. No, he's not. Listen, we do what we do because of rules and laws. If there was no expectation that you have to go to work and do the work to get a paycheck, then everyone would stay home and get a paycheck, just like what we're doing right now. That thing feels so good for the people, unless the 19 has affected somebody you know personally. If you getting you a fat check from the government, and if you getting $600 a week from the government and a stimulus check, and don't mess around and have an LLC and get the small business loan, oh, trust me when I tell you, them people living like a fat cat. Them people feeling so good right now, unless that 19 done knocked on their door and they get to see the ravaging of it, unless they get to see the effects of losing a family member. And I done had 2 people in my circle, not close to me, that done lost their life from it. Unless a person get to see it up close and personal, oh, they living lavish right now if they still getting a check. Guess what? That's what everybody would be doing in the real world if the expectation, or if there wasn't a requirement to go to work and do the work to receive your check, to show up on time. Everybody just roll out of bed when they want to. And an atheist come telling me, you know, why you can't not steal and not kill and not lie and all of that without the Holy Bible. What would be the point? What would be the point to deny your flesh and to deny what you want to do if there's no rules against it? If there's no rule against it, then that means it's not wrong. You see what I mean? In society, it's the law that make it wrong. It's the commandment that make it wrong. If there's no commandment against it, then that means it's not wrong according to humans. So Lying would not be wrong if there was not a commandment and rule that said thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not steal. Everybody walk in the store and just pick up what they want and walk out. If stealing wasn't a commandment and a law. So that's what you have to understand, is that a man can be a good man, but if you allow him to do something, he does not see it as wrong. It's your standard that makes it wrong. Now, see, that went over a lot of people's head. That went over a lot of people's head because a lot of people want to think that humans are decent by nature. And that's a lie. The Bible tells you that the creation of mankind, you born into sin as a sinner. Man left to himself, and when I say man left to himself, I'm speaking mankind, men and women, will be selfish. Look at your own life. At times that you have done what you had to do. If you had to steal out the store to eat, you stole. If you had to write a bad check back when checks was able to be written to get your kids some clothes, you wrote that bad check. Some of y'all went to jail for writing bad checks. Some of y'all auntie went to jail for writing bad checks. My auntie went to jail for writing bad checks. Every time she wrote a bad check, it was for her children. Guess what? You did what you had to do to enrich yourself, to take care of yourself. If that meant stealing, lying, killing, deceiving, manipulating, controlling, humans are innately selfish. That's why I try to help y'all understand this. Listen, a man is not finna come in your life and do everything you ever dreamt of. He's gonna do what would make his life easy. He's gonna ask for and expect what would make his life easy. What would make his life easy? You cooking, making him 3 meals a day, snacks in between, and then on your bike at night. You cleaning the house, keeping the house crystal clean, spot free, blemish free. You ironing his clothes, picking out his outfits. That's what will make his life easy. And guess what? That is the life that some men have, because those women were raised to serve a man and were not taught that you are a human with a heart, that you have a mind, and a mind can conceive dreams and goals, and that your life does not evolve around the whims of a man, that your life is not determined by a man. Your value is not determined by a man. There are women who were not told that, who were not taught that, so they walking around like a slave in ball and chain for a grown boy. Listen to me. I coach several women that have told me I cook a hot dinner every day, and I never turn him down when he want me on my back. I've never once. Women countless have told me that. Listen to me. Guess what? Unless you tell this man, and that's what my wife, she do what she want to do. She do what she feel like doing. If she feel like cooking, she'll cook. If she don't feel like cooking, she ain't getting in there because that's what I want or that's what I expect. I'm gonna have to go get me something to eat. She'll let me know she got a headache. She'll let me know we too busy. She'll let me know practice got in the way. If she not feeling good and don't want to be on her bike, she not about to put on no smile and pretend that she don't have a migraine. Pretend that she not tired. Pretend that she gonna look like somebody done stole her dog. If she ain't feeling good, she gonna look like somebody done stole her dog. And guess what? At that point right there, me being a good man, this is what I want you to understand. If she hid it and was smiling and cheesing and mustered up the energy, I would not know that she's not feeling well. So then I'm going to shoot my shot. But see, when a man has a good man in him, when you tell him what you feeling like, what you want and don't want, then he's going to be fair. See, a nasty, no good man, when you say, oh, I got a headache, and y'all getting ready to lay down, and you just told him you got a headache, and he come trying to flip you and toss you, guess what? He does not care about you. He doesn't respect you. And that's what you have to realize, is that even a man who is quote unquote a good man is going to try to enrich himself. He's going to try to make his life easy. And so that's why you have to know what you want. So that way you could bring your wants to the table. And now y'all find a happy medium. And that's the problem, and that's what's going wrong today, is that so many women, you going to one extreme or the other. You're either going to such an extreme naivete, how y'all pronounce that? You becoming so naive and gullible, thinking that God finna send you this perfect man. God trying to tell what God told you in his Bible. The Bible says, a faithful man, who can find one? Google it. A faithful man, who can find one? Google it. Your scripture will come up. God told you in his Bible he sent one perfect man. He sent one perfect man. And that was his son. And his son had to be what? Crucified for everybody else, because no one else will be perfect. So understand that just because a man does something wrong doesn't mean he doesn't have a good man inside of him. It doesn't mean that he's not capable of being a good man. What it means is that he does not know that that is against the law, that that is wrong, because it has been allowed. And because it's been allowed by every woman he's met, he assumes that that's the norm and that's right. But when he meets a woman that has her standards, and she knows who she is, and she knows what she wants, then and only then does he say, oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. It is not fair that I ask you to give me your body and put your body at risk and create a soul tie with you before I have given you a lifelong commitment, marriage, and shown you that I'm worthy of your love and your trust. You're right. It does not make sense that I ask you to lie down with me when you can potentially contract anything, when we haven't gone to the doctor together and had back-to-back appointments and got tested in the same day, and then sat with our original results, or asked permission of the doctor that our partner be in the room when he gives us our results, to say that everything is negative or tell us what's positive. You know what? You're right. It's not fair that I ask you to risk your life getting on your back when I haven't given you that type of transparency. But see, look, that don't cross most women's mind. It's probably 99.9% of women who's ever gotten on their bike did it without going to the doctor with that man to get tested. Because what I'm asking is too extreme. Because just ain't no man gonna do that. Ain't no man. Guess what? If women made it a norm, every man will do it. But guess what? Every woman don't have to do it. That's what you can do. And that's what he gonna do. When I tell y'all, y'all think I'm lying. Y'all think I'm lying. If every woman said, listen, if the mating rules in humans were that men amputate their right foot in order to show a woman how much he want her, every man will be one-legged. Every man will be one-legged. You hear me? If that was the rule. But that ain't the rule. So understand this. If the rule, study the animal kingdom. Study the animal kingdom. You'll see how, to the extent these animals go to mate. Now see, if the rule is we got to get tested together before we get in this here bed, everybody, these office will be so flooded, it'll be like, whoo, this is amazing. Come on now, y'all keep on getting these tests. Come on. That'll be the rule. If the rule was, if women all came together, and I remember somebody from another culture, didn't say what culture, but she was like, in my culture, sex before marriage isn't allowed. So men don't even try it. It's understood that you got to get married in order to sleep with a woman. I believe she was from in a certain part of Africa. And that was true in the Bible. You had to get married, like point blank period. You had to get married before y'all slept together. And if y'all slept together before you got married, somebody was ready to get stoned. Somebody getting ready to get stoned or get put in jail. Like, it's certain cultures that was the truth. And so guess what? If across the board, the rule was you got to get married in order to share the swap saliva and swap bacteria, you got to get married. Then that's what everybody will do. So understand this right here. This what I'm trying to tell y'all is that you as a woman, you are the receiver. See, this why a woman, a lot of times women get mad with this and say, well, why do I have to be the responsible? Because you are the receiver. You the receiver. So guess what? The person coming to you, the man coming to you, he coming to you with what he wants. You as the receiver, you the activator. You got to know what you want. So when I go with this here book deal, make sure you got the book, A Woman's Influence. They come to me and they say, listen, Tony, we want to offer you this. Here's your advance. We'll offer you a 2-book deal with X amount of $1,000 advance. Meaning that they're going to give me that money up front and then they make it back on the back end. So I look at the number and I say, okay, do I feel like this number is fair? Then they may say in there, we're going to maintain international rights. Meaning that if the book is to get licensed in other countries and other languages, we want that. 50% of that. But we'll let you have your television and your movie rights if you want to turn this into a movie. We'll let you have those rights. The reason why, they know that less than 1% of books going to get turned into a movie, so they're going to give you that to make you feel good. But they know that if a book is successful, it could possibly get picked up in another country, and they want 50% of that, just in case it happened. But that don't happen too often, so we'll take 50% in the rare case this going to happen. But on this front end, in America, in these sales, we want 85%. We'll give you 15% of the first 10,000 books sold. After that 10,000, we'll give you 20%. After that 10,000, you'll get 25%, 25% the most you'll ever get. That's what they'll come and say. So then as the receiver, see, I'm the activator. I'm the talent. So I get to say if I agree or disagree. No, okay, I'm going to need this amount of money. No, I want my international rights. No, I need to start at 20%. No, I want this. So that's what you have to understand. And then they either going to say we could do it or we can't. If they can't do it, then okay, boom, I go about my business, they go about theirs. That's life across the board. And what you taught in life is never accept the first offer. That's what you taught. I don't oftentimes listen to it. You don't oftentimes listen to it. That's how you ended up on your bike. Because his first offer was to put you on your bike before he even gave you a commitment. Before he even asked you to be exclusive in a relationship, you was on your back. Then some of you, he asked you to be exclusive in a relationship and you was on your back. Before he gave you a lifelong commitment with marriage. Before you got married, before he offered you marriage, he offered you to live together and you did it. Before you got married, he offered to put a child in you and you let him. See, you accepted his terms, what he wanted. But when you sit down and you think about this thing and you say, let me sit down, let me drop my chair down. And you say, does it make sense to sleep with someone before I know this is gonna be my husband? This is my husband. Does it make sense to risk contracting an STD or conceiving a child before I know this person has signed a lifelong commitment with me? Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. Does it make sense to get a lease on a rental place to live, be locked in for a year with someone that is not my spouse, that I'm not married to, that I don't know if they're Ted Bundy nephew? Does it make sense? No. Does it make sense to entrust a man who is supposed to protect and provide to be my man? I'm speaking as a woman now. Hold on now. Just in case you popped in the video in the wrong place now. Don't get me wrong now. Hey, only bat from the left side of the plate. I'm left-handed. I don't hit from both sides of the plate now. Does it make sense to allow a man to be your man when he's still living off his mama? If he's supposed to protect and provide, but he's still living off of his mama. He ain't taking care of his mama. He living off his mama. He ain't ready to be a leader, a provider. Does it make sense to concede, to have unprotected intercourse with a man if you have not seen test results? It does not make sense. You see what I'm saying? When you sit down and really look at what makes sense, you're going to realize you've been accepting bad deals your whole life. You've been accepting bad deals your whole life, but sometimes it's just how it's set up. I got a client, and God bless her. I got a client, God bless her. She think with her brain. You know, she got millions of followers. And she said, does it make sense for me to do a book deal with a company who want 90% of the proceeds? No, it don't make sense. When I got millions of followers, I could produce my own book. You hear me? And get all of the proceeds myself. So guess what she did? She produced her own book. And in 1 month, she made more than 99% of authors gonna get for a book deal with a publisher. Because she did what made sense. You see what I'm saying? To her at that time when money was her priority. She focused on that check. Later down the line, like myself, 10 years in, see, when I needed the money to feed my family, a publishing deal didn't make sense to me. At this point, I don't need the money from my books to feed my family. That money don't feed my family. So I could do a publishing deal and the publisher can get their 85% or whatever it is, because they need that to stay in business and with that big office in New York and all around the world. I don't need that. But the advantage this gives me is my book is on the shelves in Barnes & Noble, in Target, and Walmart. So it makes it easily accessible to where you can walk in the store and get it. So see, understand this. That's the same thing with a relationship. You got to make sure that what you getting into in this relationship suits you. That it suits you as well. It can't be one-sided. Cooking 3 meals a day and then on your bike at night and you ain't got a marriage, that does not suit you. Moving in to live with somebody and being tied up in a lease or a mortgage with somebody that you ain't married to, that does not suit you. Having kids with somebody that you're not married to, that does not suit you. You need security first. You need security. So what y'all got to do is you got to build to the point of security. Then you do secure things like a mortgage or a lease together, a child together, unprotected intercourse together. See, and this is what I'm telling you, and I know some of you listen, you like, man, this is unrealistic. This is unrealistic. Ain't no man gonna wait for this. And that's the question women gonna ask. Is any man gonna agree to? Yes. Yes. The men gonna tell you, man, you can have these women single the rest of their life. Man, these women gonna be single the rest of their life. That's a lie. Because when a man finds something rare and exotic, and when I say exotic, I ain't talking about skin color. I know y'all already. Oh, so you trying to say a brown skinned woman ain't beautiful? You talking about exotic? You know what? I'm so sick and tired of y'all. I was talking y'all want something exotic. When I'm saying exotic, I'm not talking about skin color. I'm talking about something rare. So this what's happening. When a man see a woman who knows her worth, who knows what she brings to the table, and she know what she want, woo, that's sexy. And she take care of herself. Now see, you can't be walking around looking like Who Shot John and forgot to kill him. I was at the airport. The girl gonna do like this. She gonna do like this to her head. And that I say that wig. That's what she's doing like this, and her wig up there. I say you can't walk around like that and then want to have standards and stipulations. No. Fix that wig first. Okay, see, this is what y'all need to understand. Y'all want to walk around here and holler about some standard stipulation, but you looking broke, busted, and disgusted. No. Okay? Because what you need to understand, Loose Booty 901, woo, Loose Booty 901, she a news reporter. She a RN. She a medical doctor. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She a real estate agent selling houses. Loose Booty 901, the one who is on her bike, she bought her grind too. Let me tell y'all this new thing, what I'm noticing. Gold diggers is going to school and getting education and getting high-paying jobs to look attractive to a man just to be sat down. They going through 12 years of school to be sat down by a man. Because they understand that they need to appear worthy of this man with money. They know this man with money ain't trying to rescue a woman drowning in the middle of the ocean with a life raft on. Talking about, hey, help me. Help me. He's not finna jump out of his yacht into the ocean, risk being ate by a shark to help your non-swimming butt who jumped out there trying to look like the damsel in distress. Help me. He's like, oh yeah, 911. Yeah, we got somebody out there in the water, need some help. He's not finna be Captain Save him. So guess what? Loose Booty 901 done found out. Now that's Loose Booty 901 is her at name. That's her at name. That's her screen name when I'm saying that. Well, Loose Booty 901 done realizes she got to elevate to look like she on his level. Okay? So what she going to do is she tired. She don't feel like working them 60 hours a week as no nurse practitioner. So she want this man with millions to sit her down. Okay, and then what you want? You want to cook, you want to clean, you need mama bite, whatever you need. It's a lot of them playing that. Now understand what I'm saying, because now some of y'all butt hurt. Well, I did not go to school all of these years to get a man. I did it for me. Okay, I ain't talking to you. I ain't say you did. What I'm telling you is that Loose Booty 901 got the same degree you got. But you know what Loose Booty 901 doing? She outworking you in the gym. You know what Loose Booty 901 doing? She taking care of her lace front. The way he can't tell us a lace front. You know what Loose Booty 901 doing? She investing in her wig so that when she scratch, it ain't doing this. Okay? So while you want to be all classy, but walking around looking like Who Shot Johnny Forgot to Kill Him, that's why you missing out on your husband. Because you focus on one part, but not all the parts. And then guess what? He over here, the good man, he over here, he getting closer to God. He working on his relationship with God. He in the gym busting his butt, working on his biceps, his triceps, his pectoral, his glutes, his hamstring, his quads, his calves. He working on neck muscles. He working out everything. You hear me? And he getting his money up. I know some of these men. Doing this. The guy I told you about last night that was on Chicago PD. That's what he doing. He a virgin. He saving himself till marriage. He about 30 years old. You know the show Chicago PD? He was on there and playing the role of a guy of Sean. I think Sean got killed in the episode from last night. Sean Page. That he used to work for me. I got him right out of college. Came out of college with 2 master's degrees or something like that. And I gave him a job. And he went on to do another job in PR, and he quit that job to go full-time in acting. That's what a God-fearing, devoted man is doing. He done perfected his body. He used to have some love handles. He hit me up. He say, man, I'm in shape now, man. Hey, I'm in shape. I say, hey, boy, you still a virgin? You still a virgin? Still saving yourself? He said, absolutely. 100%. I said, okay, I'm going to do some panels. When we come back through it, when we get through this 19, I'm doing some all male panels in Atlanta. I don't live in Atlanta, but that's just a hub, a central place where people could get to. We're doing some all male panels. You know, I want good men, though, on my panel. Not these old heathens out here got women on their bike. I want good men up here. So he said, hey, yeah, hit me up anytime, man. You got it. And guess what? The other young man that I showed y'all on the video, Caleb, doing the same thing. You ain't going to be able to look at these guys and find no flaw just looking at them. You see what I mean? And when you talk to them, you're going to see their head on straight and they serving the Lord. So while you hollering about a husband, what you doing? What you doing to prepare? If he done worked on his love handles, guess what? You need to be working on yours. If he got rid of his love handles, that's because he don't enjoy them. He don't like them. So you think he gonna not want his, but then want yours? No. Now, if he still got his, then he ain't gonna have nothing against. He shouldn't have nothing against yours. If he still got his, cause y'all both love the handles. Okay, so people come up to me. I remember a lady telling me, Tony, I got a tight. I said, okay, what's your type? So as we going through the type, fit, athletic is one of the stipulations. I say, are you athletic? No, but I'm working on it. Well, what you got to do? I only need to lose 150 more pounds. I said, hold on. So you want him to be ready. You want him to, why you don't want the guy who he need to lose 150 pounds too? I ain't attracted to that. So if you ain't attracted to it, what make you think he attracted to that? A fit man. You think he gonna be attracted if you still on your journey to get 150 more pounds off? No, stay on your journey. You worrying about the wrong thing. You don't need no man right now. Stay on your journey if you don't match what you trying to become. Now listen to me. You might cry in the car, but that's why I do this on video. So if you need to check yourself, if you need to cry, you want to punch this screen, that's what you could do. But this the real truth. And see, a lot of people ain't gonna talk to you about this and give you no real truth out of love, because they want you to keep staying stuck and lost and confused, wondering why things ain't working out. It ain't working out because you ain't working out, literally or figuratively. And when I say that, when I say working out, I ain't talking about just in no gym. I'm talking about in your life, in your mind. You gotta be prepared. And then guess what? He's gonna be prepared. And then y'all gonna meet. And then when y'all meet, this is where you address the caveats and nuances. Because you may say, listen, I want this right here. I need a man. I remember a woman telling me, listen, he got to eat that peach cobbler to have it. I'm like, listen, nah, that can't be no stipulation. Everybody don't have the time to be doing all of that. That man not gonna have the time to be doing all of that. Spraining his neck and his lips and tongue going numb because you got that man. Come on now. That's just, you just doing too much. And so this is why I need you to understand. You're going to say, well, I want a man who could fix everything in the house. We ain't got to call no handyman. Listen, ain't nobody go to handyman school. Ain't nobody go to handyman school. Okay? If people who got money, they call a handyman. The handyman is because they family couldn't afford to call the handyman in, so they had to learn how to do it. But that ain't gonna be every man's story. Every man ain't gonna be handy. But that don't mean he doesn't have character and integrity and can't love you. So listen, you gonna come with some stipulation. You ain't no perfect woman. You ain't no perfect woman. I done met women who don't let their food touch. You know how annoying that is? When your food can't touch? It's like, look, we ain't always gonna be in a situation to where a plate got compartments. Okay? We up here at this restaurant or we up here at this theme park and they got a circle plate. Did you want to eat or not? Well, my food cannot touch. And you know that. Okay, so now you gonna starve? Or you just gonna eat one thing? Okay, but so now you eating one thing, but now you got a headache. So now we want to be at the theme park all day, but now you got a headache and famished and can't walk because you don't want your food to touch. I done met women who they food can't touch. I met women who they don't want to move in somewhere that somebody else done lived in. So you got to build. So you want to build from the ground up every time you want to stay somewhere. Yeah. So guess what? Women ain't perfect either. Y'all come with y'all quirks. Women gonna come with their quirks and with their hopes and desires and dreams that might not be realistic. And men gonna come with theirs. And this when you meet in the middle, and this where you find the happy medium. Okay? So understand this. Superman ain't coming. Superman ain't coming. And he Clark Kent. Clark Kent coming. You might have Superwoman in you, but you gonna come as Lisa Kent or Jaterica Kent. You coming as a Kent too. He coming as Kent. Okay, what that mean? Both of y'all could be. You can grow into being helping one another, being Superman and Superwoman, and still then guess what? Superman and Superwoman got a kryptonite. So understand this right here. Get out the fairy tales and all what you want and expecting somebody to come and be perfect, and get the knowledge. Be true to yourself. What really matters to you and what doesn't matter? What do you really want? But out of what you want, how much of that do you really need? Be realistic with yourself, and then you require anybody who come in your life to do the same. And understand that anybody who come in your life, you're going to have to check them. You're going to have to check them in certain areas to let them know, that's not acceptable. That's not going to fly. Hey, this is Tony Gasson. God bless you. I'm getting ready to coach an international client here, so I got to get going. But God bless y'all. And if you need a coach, make sure you visit mymentor.life. I'm on there as well. Don't sit there and struggling and in my comments trying to, drive me upside the wall. Get on mymentor.life. Book you a session and go ahead and start doing the work. Hey, this is Tony Gasson. God bless you. We'll talk soon.